Hi everyone, welcome to an impromptu video. So I decided to braai for lunch and I'm going to be trying to recreate a pasta recipe. So what I'm going to do is firstly I'm going to start with making the pasta on the other side of the stove, and you are not going to see that, but basically just use the package instructions to make the pasta. And that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to show you how I think the sauce is made. Brace. I'm going to be using the wok because I need a pot that's going to be big enough to accommodate the whole pasta salad. I am using 400 grams of the pasta that you just saw, and I really wanted to be able to use it all at once to make as much pasta as I can for the braai, and whatever's left over then the kids can use as part of their lunch tomorrow. So I've tried a lot of pasta salads, and you probably have too, but the curry ones are really the ones that appeal to me. But the interesting thing is they literally always taste different. Now, I bought one sometime in the week, I can't remember where, and it was really good, really good. So I tried to figure out what else they had in there, and what I'm going to try and do is try and recreate it. Now, I do have some tricks that I'm going to use in case it doesn't work out. But what I'm going to do is actually try and recreate it first, and then I'm going to let you know how it tastes. So I'm going to get one of the kids to let you know if it tastes good or not. And if it goes like really badly, we'll obviously have to put in sour cream or mayo or something to save it. But I hope it doesn't get to that. So first we're starting just with frying off the onions. So I'm actually going to be very patient with this step because the onions are very prominent in the taste of the salad, but I don't want them to be overly crunchy. So I'm going to take them all the way until they're almost translucent. So the onion has become a little bit see-through, and I think it should be okay where it is. I'm actually taking my heat down to like a pretty low heat, and then now is the spot where I'm going to be putting in my curry powder. Now I'm using my favorite curry powder. Use your favorite if this turns out to be successful and you want to try it out. I'm trying to go for about a 2 teaspoon measure of curry powder, and then I'm going to mix it up in the onion, and I'm going to let the curry powder just cook off just a little bit. It gives a lovely smell, but it also takes away that grainy taste of curry. I don't want that, so we're just cooking that off a little bit. That's normally pretty quick. And then I'm going to be putting in, so I'm lazy about this, so I'm using some frozen veggies. If you've got the energy, cut up some carrots, cut up some green beans into very small pieces, but I'm actually just going to use frozen veggies because that works for me. And at this point I'm going to use my favorite dried herb, which is oregano. Oh, strong hand. Mix that up. I really hope this works out. Okay, and then I have some tomato puree. It's passata. I'm sure you've seen me use this quite a few times in a lot of my recipes. I'm going to use all of that, and then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put in a little bit of water to get the remainder out of the bottle. Just going to shake it out with the water, and then I'm going to put the rest of the passata. Mix. And then at this point I'm going to let the sauce or my chutney. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to use some brown sugar, because what I also realized is they had a lot of sweetness in their curry pasta salad, a lot of sweetness, but for some reason it was actually quite nice. I actually enjoyed it, so I'm going to try and get that using some brown sugar. I did consider using honey, but I don't think that was the sweetness I was getting, so I am going to use some brown sugar. And now I'm going to let the sauce just sit a little bit on the medium heat for about, let's give it about 5 minutes. So not only is the sweetness going, or the sugar going to give sweetness, it's also going to take the tartness out of the passata. So that is very welcome. I'm going to let it sit a little bit for about 5 minutes or so. And I'm going to tend to my macaroni. So see if it is almost done, and then take it out and drain it. And then when the sauce is ready, I will bring the macaroni in. Welcome back. So I've given the sauce 5 minutes, and then as I walked away, I actually realized I hadn't tasted the sauce, firstly, and secondly, I hadn't salted it. So I am going to steal some of Bunte's good salt. This salt is good, but it's pricey. So that's why I pretend I don't use it. But anyway, there I've got some of that good salt in, and then I am going to try and mix it in. Then I'm going to try and find a teaspoon so I can taste it, because salt does make everything better, but I don't know if salt can help you if you're eyeballing something. That's an interesting taste, but I think we need a bit more sugar. A tad bit more sugar. Because this is actually quite a nice, interesting taste. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off. Now, I'm going to turn it all the way off. And then I'm going to let it cool. I've got the pasta sitting in some cold water. And as soon as the sauce is cooled, I'm going to join the two together. So you'll catch me back at that time. So I've let the sauce and the pasta cool down quite a lot. But then I thought I have other stuff to make, so I need to move on. So I am going to be mixing this down, and then I'm going to be taking it out of here and putting it in a container to put in the fridge. Now I did use initially 400 grams of the pasta, the squiggly pasta thingies, But I'm just trying to weigh it out to see how much I need to actually use in the salad, because the last thing you need is to have more pasta than sauce, and then to have some dry, not pretty pasta situation going on, because we want it to be nice and saucy, because it is a salad. It's not a pasta dish, it's a salad. And the other thing is I want the pasta to be able to drink in some of the sauce. So I am using let me just check how much I've used. I'm just gonna weigh the remaining one. So this is literally 320 grams that I'm using in here. And it doesn't look bad, eh? It really doesn't look bad. It actually looks quite pretty. Okay, I'm gonna get something to taste it. Get a spoon to taste it, to check for seasoning, and then I'm going to put it in the fridge. So close. So close, but it's still a bit warm, so that might be the issue. So I'm going to be putting it in the fridge to let it cool down, and then I think once it's cooled it would be much closer. So once it's cooled, then I'm just going to garnish it with some parsley, flat leaf parsley, and then I'm going to serve it, and then I'm going to try and get a second opinion in terms of the taste. So guys, this is my plate. It's a bit hectic, but yeah, that's how things work. Some of the stuff in here I'm not gonna eat. I've just put them on to khadisa you guys, like the garlic bread. I just wanted you to see the pasta salad. It actually came out quite well. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a review from anyone, so you're going to have to take my word for it, or actually just try it out. Thank you very much for joining me for this impromptu recipe, and I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, remember to share, and come back next time for something amazing. Ciao.